Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Sabotage. After latest attack, Sarah Sanders gives media quote they did not want to print. As press secretary for Donald Trump, Sarah Huckabee Sanders has faced her fair share of media hostility. Lately, however, she's never been attacked more. So she's striking back in a hilarious way. "I've never been attacked more, questioned more," Sanders said during a panel held by George Washington University. "I was called a liar by a major network in an official statement. I've been called outrageous things on air, and it goes unquestioned, no pushback. I do think that there is a greater sense of hostility that I've seen in this administration than in previous, and I think that you see them reflected in the numbers, in the coverage," said Sanders. If you compare that to the first 9 months of the Obama administration, it was 40 to 60, so for people to pretend like there isn't a greater sense of hostility toward this administration, I think, would be to ignore real facts. This tirade against the press forced the Washington Post to fact-check the statement. Their findings were probably hard to swallow for the liberal paper. 93% of the coverage of Trump was negative and 7% positive, they conceded. Indeed, studies have shown overwhelmingly negative coverage of Trump in the mainstream media. This is a masterclass in media trolling. The media have to report on Sanders, so she's using them to wage war against themselves. Sarah Sanders knows exactly what she's doing, and she's doing it really well. Comment well played and share if you love Sarah Sanders' hostiness. She learned from the best, and now she is the best defender of the president. Bureau of Labor accurately predicts jaw-dropping number of jobs Trump will create in coming years. "This is why we elected President Trump and not Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush." Jobs. "We were sick and tired of watching our good jobs go overseas and bad jobs, if you can find one at all, replacing them." In one shocking incident, Disney brought the low-skilled workers here and made the U.S. workers they were replacing train them. Disney didn't even have to offshore, they used a loophole and were able to bring in cheaper Indian workers, and then to throw sand in America's face, they made these workers train the Indian tech guys or they would not give them their buyout. It was a low blow made worse by the knowledge that this was not an isolated incident. So we made a change and elected Trump, and we have already seen good results. Based on new government projections, we are about to go from good to great. According to new projections from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment will grow by 11.5 million from 2016 through 2026. From 156,100,000 to 167,600,000 jobs, an increase of 0.7%, which beats out the 0.5% growth seen from 2006 through 2016. The Bureau also predicted that GDP will rise at an annual rate of 2% for the next 10 years, a huge jump from the 1.4% growth rate in the last decade. This is great news, but it gets even better. When Congress finally gets their act together and passes tax reform, we will see the numbers skyrocket. The projected figures for job creation over the next decade is a good indication that President Trump's current policies are having a net positive effect on the U.S. economy, said Alfredo Ortiz, president and CEO of the Job Creators Network, told the Free Beacon. Recent walkbacks of intrusive government regulations are freeing up the ability of businesses, big and small, to expand and become a stronger economic root of their communities. Current efforts to pass small business and middle-class tax cuts will advance this trend even further, allowing Main Street to once again become the driving force of the American economy. But wait, it gets even better. According to the projections, one industry will see a decline in jobs and wages: government. Can you believe it? Off the charts private sector growth and a decline in government jobs and wages. That's what happens when you elect the right man for the job. Bill O'Reilly comes forward, exposes game-changing $200,000 bribery plot to destroy Trump. Bill O'Reilly is, thankfully, one of President Trump's strongest supporters and is one longtime friend who has not tried to score points or get famous by attacking Trump. But he knows they are out there, people who would do anything to take down or severely damage President Trump. The left will literally stop at nothing in their quixotic quest to take down Trump and his presidency. Which means they hate democracy because Trump won, fair and square. America had to make a choice and we made it. History, not jealous liberals, will be the ultimate judge of Trump's 2 terms. And maybe that is why they are so terrified of Trump. He is a game-changing candidate and the establishment will never be the same. Their power will be gone with their corruption and their bloated government salaries and even more bloated no-bid government contracts. And then there are the lobbyists who know the gravy train is coming to an end. It is under these conditions you should listen to what Bill O'Reilly and his team of investigators just discovered. Bill O'Reilly just revealed to Newsmax stunning details of the shocking attempt to ruin President Trump's reputation. O'Reilly said his investigators had uncovered an audio recording of an anti-Trump attorney offering a $200,000 bribe to an identified woman to file false sexual harassment charges against Trump. It exists, O'Reilly said. We have urged the person who has the tape to hand it over to the U.S. attorney, because my investigative team believes there are 3 separate crimes on the audio tape. Yes, we want this sick plot and the sicker plotters to face justice. Good work, Bill. It's related to my situation, O'Reilly added, and when the tape emerges, you will see why. I can't say any more than that, but it is related to my situation. Share this if you support President Trump against these scandalous and illegal attacks. Trump physically attacked by protester, but his response will make Americans proud. Donald Trump was attacked today by a man named Ryan Clayton, according to CNN. But Trump didn't even give the protester a second thought. Trump is treason. The man yelled as Trump walked down a hall on Capitol Hill. Why is Congress talking about tax cuts when they should be talking about treason? During the nonsense tirade, Clayton hurled a handful of Russian flags directly at the president. Despite nearly getting hit, Trump didn't even flinch. Trump kept walking forward, ignoring the insane man, which is absolutely the correct thing to do. He even gave a casual thumbs up to the press. Trump has been remarkably good at fending off these accusations of Russian collusion. It helps that the accusers have no facts, but the president's ability to make them seem silly and foolish have mostly buried the story despite the mainstream media's efforts. But there are still crazy men like this, who think Trump directly conspired with the Russian government. Luckily, Trump didn't even acknowledge this small man's existence. Comment "We love Trump." And share if you're proud of how our president handled this scary moment. Other presidents may have run for cover, but Trump was unafraid. Sarah Sanders sets internet on fire with brutal forward response to Jeff Flake's resignation speech attacking Trump. Jeff Flake just shook up the political world and announced he will not seek re-election. Flake has been a far too frequent critic of President Trump and Trump decided to do something about it. He got firmly behind his primary challenger, Kelly Ward, who has relentlessly attacked Flake for what he has done to Trump and has seen her numbers skyrocket while Flake's fell off a cliff. So today, not really having any choice because he will lose, Flake announced he will not run for re-election. But the manner in which he announced his resignation was uncalled for and a bit obnoxious. Of course he ripped Trump from the Senate floor when he made his announcement. Flake actually said this on the Senate floor about the sitting President of the United States of America. Reckless, outrageous, and undignified behavior has become excused as telling it like it is when it is actually just reckless, outrageous, and undignified. And when such behavior emanates from the top of our government, it is something else. It is dangerous to a democracy. Wow, he sounds like Nancy Pelosi, doesn't he? He continued. None of these appalling features of our current politics should ever be regarded as normal. We must never allow ourselves to lapse into thinking that is just the way things are now. If we simply become inured to this condition, thinking that it's just politics as usual, then heaven help us. Flake went on and continued to hammer at Trump in his sky is falling way and blamed him for basically everything wrong in America. Most senators, including John McCain and Bob Corker, rose and gave Jeff a standing ovation, although we aren't sure if they were cheering his resignation or his Trump bashing. The media of course descended on White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders demanding a reply from Trump. She said she hadn't spoken to Trump about the big resignation and then glared into the cameras and finished off the carcass that is Jeff Flake's political career with a brutal one-liner. Based on the lack of support that he has from the people of Arizona, it's probably a good move. Probably a good move, the absolute perfect four-word response: classy, funny, on point, and above all brutally honest. Good job, Sarah. Jeff Flake's political career is over, Trump won again.